People who cut off their family, what did they do to you? Stepdad raised me from when I was 3. The primary thing I remember about him is fear. He was okay a lot of the time, but when something set him off he was really quick to anger, a snarl flashing across his face and his cheeks turning red, and he'd come at me. He wouldn't do much physically, the belt a few times, but he'd corner me and rant at me for hours. I don't remember a lot of specific incidents because I got good at disassociating, but the one that sticks out vividly is when I wet the bed and he grabbed me by the neck and stuck my face into it and told me he was going to train me like a dog. Even when he was in a good mood he was a deeply unpleasant person to be around. He'd sit me down and lecture me for hours with talking points from AM radio, highlights like women are going to steal your money and suck you dry, there's black people and then there's N-words, etc. While I looked out the window and wished I was anywhere else. When I turned 18 my mom left him and he told me he didn't want to see me again because I reminded him of my mom. I still thought of him as my father and tried to reconnect during college, but he said my Christmas card was a weak effort, and at that point I decided to just continue my life without him. A decade later we met at my sister's wedding and within the first 5 minutes he said, "Wow, I thought you were trying to get in better shape. Well, I guess you finally got a decent job, took you long enough," and then started ranting about trans people using women's bathrooms. I was cordial enough to avoid a scene at my sister's wedding, but it reaffirmed that I have no desire to have a relationship with him. Since then he bled his mother dry of money when she had breast cancer and then sued his siblings for a bigger share of her inheritance. They don't speak to him anymore. My siblings, his biological children, still have a relationship with him, but he's working on alienating them too. He told my sister she was not cut out to do anything besides secretarial work. She ignored him and is now very successful. He scammed $20,000 off my brother in a loan he's unlikely to repay. The last time he went to visit them he saw a car double parked outside a pizza shop and made a detour to run inside and start yelling about it. Says he's not going to hold back anymore, going to give everyone a piece of his mind. Talking about getting a gun. I guess he's contemplating dying alone, so he texted me for the first time in a decade to tell me that I'm a crappy person and I owe him for Boy Scouts or whatever when I was a kid. Also said he was only playing my dad. Which, F it, I'm happy to say at this point I was only playing his son.